I have already explained in detail in this video how a dancer can speed up the tempo in a baile flamenco. There are many ways to speed up, to increase the tempo, but maybe the most common way is a very specific, very effective dance step whose function is to mark the compass very clearly while making sure that everyone can follow the acceleration. This step is called, surprisingly, el Paso de Subida, the acceleration step. We already practiced together El Paso de Subida por Tango here, so today let's see how it works on the most common 12 beats flamenco compases. Hi, this is Guillermo Guillen for FlamencoMAPS. Welcome to my channel. Whether you dance flamenco, you sing flamenco, you play guitar, you play cajón, you play palmas, or you just love it and you want to understand how it works, you know that in practically all the bailes there is a subida, an acceleration of the tempo driven by the dancer. Remember, subir means to go up, to speed up. Let's explore El Paso de Subida in the 12 beats soleá type compass and the 12 beats guajira type compass. I differentiate them because they are rhythmically similar but not musically. It's not exactly the same thing, but we'll talk about that another day. By saying 12 beats soleá type compass, I refer to many different palos that use this type of compasses, like obviously la soleá, but also bulería por soleá, all the cantinas like alegría, mirará, romera, caracoles, and also la caña, el polo, la bambera, and la bulería in 12 beats. By guajira type, I'm referring to la guajira and la petenera. If these two types are musically a bit different, for today's topic, it is the same. I'm sure you already know this step. It has many possible variations, but generally it looks and sounds like this. It often happens that the dancer learned and then executes this step as if it were just another choreographic element without any meaning, without intention. But this step, most of the time, is part of communication in flamenco. Like in any communication system, you need a transmitter and a receiver. The transmitter is the baile, the dancer. It's a step through which the dancer says, "Come all with me, let's go faster." The dancer starts the subida and guides the other musicians all along. How long, how progressive, how fast. And it also says that after the subida will probably come a very strong remate and cierre. All the others, the guitar, the cajón, the singer, the percussion, everybody are the receiver. If you dance, it is therefore essential that the step is very clearly articulated and that the acceleration is smooth. And if you accompany, whether it is with your cajón, your guitar, your palmas, or your trumpet, you must be able to understand it, decipher it, follow it, and accompany it. If the subida doesn't work, it may be because of the transmitter, of the receiver, or both. That's why it's so important to understand it, practice it, and feel it. You probably already know that I use Legos to visualize the compasses. For the 12 beats compasses, I use the Lego this way, with the accent on the last beat of each Lego. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In this particular case, we are going to change the rules of the game a little bit, for practical reasons that you will understand soon. Today we are going to start the sequence on 12 and place the accents of the compass on every first beat of each Lego. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Once the compass is running, once the Paso de Subida is running, it doesn't change anything because it's a cycle. It goes in a loop, as we can see on the very famous flamenco clock. But to give the start, you'll see that it's easier to have our beat number 12 here. We are also going to use the count on our fingers for these exercises because it's very useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. If you don't know this method yet, take a break here and go and watch that video because it will make your life so much easier. The Paso de Subida is made up of combination of tiempos and contratiempos, beats and subbeats. In this first version of the Paso de Subida that we'll learn now, the dancer marks everything, all the beats and all the subbeats. Let's break this down. The flow rate, the subdivision we'll use is 2 notes per beat, or taka. The ta is the beat and the ka is the subbeat. Taka, 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 taka. Let's start counting the compass on our fingers, and then we start singing all the tas and all the kas, starting on 12 and stopping on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taka, 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 ta. Importantissimo. Don't forget to really accentuate on the strong beats of the compass, on the 12, the 3, the 6, the 8, and 10. If I sing taka 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 ta, there is no way for you to know where I am in my cycle. Think that you have to make the compass very clear only by singing, without needing any other reference, without palmas, without counting, nothing. And it's fundamental for a good transmission and reception from the transmitter to the receiver. Each accent is like a beacon for the musicians that tells them, I'm here on 3, and now I'm here on 6, I'm here on 8, I'm here on 10, I'm here on 12. I talk about this very often. It is the phrasing. I really need to sing with the accents. Taka 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 taka. So now let's practice with our dear Tito at a slow tempo, 80 BPM, counting on our fingers and singing the takas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taka, 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 taka. Taka, 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 ta. And now we'll do the same thing with our foot on the accents, the palmas playing the beats, and singing the takas. Always phrasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taka, 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 ta. A bit faster now, 130. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Taka, 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 ta. Here, as you can see, we are not doing a subida because we are keeping the tempo steady. But I think it's really the best way to practice this and to internalize the sensation of the Paso de Subida. After that, we can accelerate ourselves, but not with El Tito anymore, because he can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Taka, 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 taka. Once this is clear and easy for you, try the next thing. Now we'll switch off all the tas, all the beats, and keep only the kas, as I explained in the Contratiempo video. El Tito 80 BPM, starting counting on our fingers. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, ka, 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 ka. This is very important because we need to get the feeling, the sensation of the contratiempos, and also at the same time marking the accents of the compass with our foot only, and really feel the dynamics between the contras and the accents of the compass that are not expressed but they are there. One more time. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, ka, 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 A bit faster now, 130. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, ka, 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 ka. And now we'll switch on the tas only on the accents of the compass on 12, 3, 6, 8, and 10. So again, starting on 12 and stopping on 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta. Now you understand why I prefer to reverse the order of the accents on the Legos, because it's much easier to start on beat 12 than on the contra. And in general, the dancers start this step on 12, even if they are always free to start whenever they want. Same thing with palmas now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta. 130 BPM, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta. And now speeding up the tempo. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta. There is a third possibility. It's also possible to mark El Paso de Subida without marking all the cas. We can switch off the cas, the subbeats that come right after an accent. So no ka right after 12, after 3, after 6, after 8, and after 10. In this case, it's easier to return to the original layout of the Legos with the accent on the last beat of each Lego. You'll understand why. The sensation is very different here. We can really feel each Lego after the other. And we can feel that in every Lego, we go towards the accent. We land on the accent. So we have 2 long red Legos that go this way, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, and 3 short yellow Legos this way, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ta. Easy, right? Ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, ta. So vámonos del tito again and our fingers. Here we start after the 1, the contra after the 1. Ka, ka, ta. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Ka, ka, ta. Ka, ka, ta. kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, kata, kata. Faster. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, kata, kata. And now in a real subida, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, 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 ka, kata, ka, kata, kata, kata. As you know, in this type of 12 beats compasses, the standard, the usual beat on which we close is 10. Traditionally, we close on 10. We can close in many other places, but the standard basic way is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why we'll close our Paso de Subida on 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, taca, ca, ta. But there are different options here also, because instead of continuing with the same loop, we can choose to finish the last compass with only contras. One option is to start contras from the 6 till the 10 without the accent, without the ta on 8. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, 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 ta. This is very common too. Let's practice this option. We do 2 compasses of subida, and the third compass we close on 10 with contrast from 6 to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, taca, ca, taca, ca, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, ca, taca, ca, taca, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, 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 ta. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, taca, ka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, ka, taka, ka, 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 tum. Here again, the musical intention is very important to make everybody understand that it's the end of the subida. You don't want to miss the end of the subida. 7, 8, 9, 10. Taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, ka, taca, ka, 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 tum. And then you can do anything with this kind of combination with just contras at the end. You can do the last compass only with contras if you want. And then you can use any other steps that finishes on 10 to accentuate the intention. No matter which version of the Paso de Subida the dancer chooses, what is really important is to accentuate el paso in the right way. Articulate it very clearly and keep the accents on the beats, on the tas, and not on the cas as it often happens. If you accentuate the wrong way and something happens on stage, like a small accident, then it becomes very difficult for the musicians to understand the steps the right way and to follow it, accompany it. It's a perception problem, because once you perceive this step with the wrong phrasing from the dancer, from the transmitter, then it's almost impossible to get your brain to put it straight. If I hear this Ka kataka, ka kataka, 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 ka kataka. My brain and my body interpret this way. Ka kataka, ka kataka, 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 kataka. And then I'm finished. It's so difficult to get back to ka kataka, ka kataka, 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 kataka. The articulation, the phrasing of this step is very important. Ka kataka, ka kataka, 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 and not ka kataka, ka kataka, kataka, kataka. No. And one last thing about these steps that can be confusing. It happens sometimes that dancers use el paso de subida, but without subir, without speeding up. I know it sounds a bit contradictory, but it's the way it is. It just becomes one more step. But it's not a really interesting step because it's only marking the compass. That's why it can be used many times mixed with contras as a transition, a suspension, a rest between two series of footwork. Practice all this counting on your finger with the palmas, with el tito. My advice is to really practice slowly at first at a constant speed. And once you really have the feeling of the Paso de Subida, the dynamics between the accents of the compass and the contras, then you can start speeding up. And then if you can find people to rehearse and practice with, then it's much, much better. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it could help. If it helps, you can also help me by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, sharing it to the world, leaving me a comment. Also go and visit FlamencoMAPS.com where I explain my online classes, online courses, and my way of teaching flamenco. I see you there. Till then, don't forget, learn flamenco, make it fun, make it different, make it yours, and play palmas.